gonna try something new. I'm gonna actually talk about the deck profile. I'm gonna talk about the deck, why the cards are in there, what they can do, and all the other good stuff. But I'll try to make it fast. Well, obviously, you have assault mode. Use your boss monster. You have top runner. Mainly because he gets on the bottomless. So you play instant fusion, you synchro, make Stardust, they try to bottomless, you use Stardust's effect to reject bottomless, and then set your back row and you turn Stardust comes back, your opponent's turn, Stardust assault mode. The main thing is you're going to be assault moding on your opponent's turn, more than not. So it kind of becomes like the YUGIOH, since you're making them during your opponent's turn, your opponent has to deal with them during your opponent's turn. But there's some occasions where you'll have maybe assault mode face down long enough that when it's your turn you make Stardust, then you assault mode. Well, top runner obviously powers up synchro, so it comes in handy in case somebody does something like a dark hole or something. You Stardust's effect and they drop a big monster on the field, like a 2800 or something, and of course that could run over Stardust, not the assault mode, but it could run over Stardust. And then Stardust comes back at the end turn, your turn, you play Beta or MST or something, get rid of the back row in case he has something ready for you. Then you summon top runner, and now Stardust is 3100, so now he could run over the 2800. And then you can play another, you can play instant fusion, of course, and bring out and synchro again, and so on and so forth, and just keep spamming 8-star synchros. So that's why he's in there. Violon Prism. I noticed the both tuners, they give power boosts. When you use them, they give you power boost. So top runner, you summon him while you have a synchro, you get a power boost. Violon, when he's sent from the field to very pay 500 and equip it to a monster inside the field, so he comes in handy in many different plays, especially if I synchro for Stardust and somebody bottomlesses and I still have a monster on the field. I use Stardust's effect, chain Violon, activate his effect, equip it to my other monster, so that way my other monster at least is powered up. I had a stroke one time and I made Stardust and somebody tried bottomless, and I used Stardust's effect and used Violon's effect and equipped it to stroke. Now stroke was a 2800 beat stick, and Stardust was ready to come back at the end of the turn. And I also had a assault mode activate that I had in my hand that I set ready to be activated on my opponent's turn. I attacked, dealt some damage, then it was on my opponent's turn. I made assault mode, he rage quit. Probably that just obviously means he didn't have anything to do with Stardust assault mode. So that's what Violon's there for. Plus he's cool. Then you got what makes this the Crystal Beast assault mode deck, Pegasus, one of my favorites. I still have 3 copies of this bad boy. I used to have Crystal Beast. I made a whole bunch of types of decks. I had all the decks. There's almost not a single deck I didn't have, or designed at least. So Crystal Pegasus, of course, one of my favorites. Summon him, put a Crystal Beast in your spawn trap zone. I like to summon him and put a copy of him into my spawn trap zone. Then play Crystal Promise to special summon the Pegasus from my spawn trap zone and get another Pegasus and keep doing that. And the cool thing about it is if you got 2 Crystal Promises and a Crystal Beast Pegasus, you can go into Shockmaster, or you can deal a lot of damage. You have 3 1800 beat sticks, you know what I mean? You can go into some pretty cool plays. Plus it helps thin out the deck, because then you're taking out the Pegasus and bringing them out into the battlefield. Plus you have card advantages. It also sets up Scrap Dragon plays. That way you can just pop the Crystal Beast in your spawn trap zone and pop what your opponent has. So that helps. Sometimes people MST Crystal Beast because they're assuming you're trying to bring out, or you're trying to play the field spell or something, or Crystal Abundance they're afraid of. So they'll just MST and it's like, oh good, MST bait. Then of course Topaz Tiger, just because when he attacks he's at 2000, so that's a pretty good beast stick right there. There's other ones you could play. You could play the defense one, of course. You can, there's the other ones. I just grabbed Topaz just because sometimes you need that 2000 attacker, and that's just really the reason why he's in there. There's other ones I probably would use because there's other combos. like of course Cobalt Eagle. That would make more sense to play in this deck because of his ability to. I summon him and I can use him to bounce a Pegasus from my spawn trap zone, put it on top of my deck. So that way next turn I draw, summon Pegasus, and kind of do almost a little loop. Instant fusion, just basic staple for me. Quick synchro, quick exceed, quick shockmaster, just quick everything. Especially when you combine instant fusion with Pegasus and Crystal Promise, boom, shockmaster. Now, of course, when you look at the deck profile, it's like, but there is no Shockmaster. Yeah, I know. There isn't one, but you could. You could always put it in if you want. You take out something, put in something. It's player preference, to each their own. This ain't to make Shockmaster. This is just really just a assault mode beatdown. But you could run Shockmaster if you choose to. Bethel, MSTs, back row hate, staples for me. Assault mode activate, of course. Regeki break. Destroys anything, so boom. And sometimes I got an assault mode in my hand, which is pretty much a dead draw by itself, so it's like I gotta discard for something. I gotta make it useful, so I discard for Regeki break mostly. Sometimes I discard a bait doll, since I know my other copies always go back in the deck, so I always have a bait doll, so I never feel like I'm negging, you know what I mean? I Regeki break, discard bait doll, not a big deal since I have 2 in the deck that I can reuse. Gravity Bind. Still waiting for something that does what it does, but it still lets me attack. I don't want to use red screen, costs too much life points. So sometimes my opponent stalls, and I could lose from the effect alone. Starlight Road helps protect Gravity Bind and my monsters and whatnot. Plus it lets me get Stardust out pretty fast, so I can assault mode and just bang, have my boss monster already. Monster Born, since I mainly want to keep Gravity Bind on the field as long as possible, as well as my spells and traps and my Ballon Prisms, I opted out from a lot of play testing because I actually run assault mode in real life. Right now I'm running the fire assault mode version with Ballon Prism instead of the Black Witch of the Rose or something like that, Rose Witch or something. So I'm running that fire version. I realized that Heavy Storm has, even though you can combo it with Starlight Road, it's still not really optimal in the deck design. Plus, there's plenty of times where it's like, man, I don't want just assault mode on the field. I want more. So Monster Born lets me bring back Stardust, so that's even better. It's like, because I used up so many cards. I used 2 monsters to make Stardust. Then play assault mode activate to bring out Stardust assault mode. So that right there is 4 cards for 1 monster. You know what I mean? Well, 3 cards to make 1 monster. No, it is 4 cards because the synchro counts. Yeah, 4 cards to make 1 monster. 4 cards to make 1 monster. So Monster Reborn kind of fixes that a little bit. Gives me the advantage since now I have 2 monsters and it costs me 5 cards, but still 2 monsters are better than 1. Let's see. I use Promise just because it works great, in those synchro combos and exceed combos. I have these just in case I ever decide I might want to change the concept. But right now, Promise works just fine. So Blessing's okay, but it's rare for my Crystal Beast to be in the graveyards anyway, unless somebody MSTs them or something, or I scrap cracking them. This one's cool because it's my main thing is that I'm trying to get them out of the deck, but because I use Pegasus to get them out, my Crystal Beast out the deck and put them in a spawn trap zone, and then I use Promise to bring them onto the field, so that gives me the non-tuner materials I need to synchro with and exceed and all the other stuff. Like, yeah, even though this requires 2 or more, just a special summon from the deck, that's cool, but I need 2 or more, and that's usually rare. I usually only have 1 in my one Crystal Beast in my spawn trap zone, so that doesn't really help much. And since I'd use the Crystal Beast for synchro, sometimes exceed summoning, they don't stay in my spawn trap zone long enough. They barely go to the graveyard unless I detach for material for an effect or synchro with them. So Crystal Abundance really doesn't work. But it would have been cool, if you can tweak out the deck and be able to play crystal bonus, that's pretty good, you know. Pretty powerful card right there. Okay, we got the basic stroke, Corn, and Queen Dragoon Dijin. She's basically my second Monster Reborn. Sometimes you get in a case where, you know, like you got like somebody Divine Raptor Stardust, you know, or they just Divine Raptor Stardust Assault mode. So now you got Stardust and Assault mode in the graveyard. It's like, damn. And then you have Instant Fusion and one of the Crystal Beasts. It's like, well, I can't synchro for another Stardust. Let's pretend you also have Assault mode activate. So it's like, well, I can't synchro to another Stardust and whatnot since I don't have a tuner. But you can exceed into her, bring back Stardust, and then you be able to play your Assault mode activate. So that way it reduces some dead draws. It reduces, you know, the fact that, you know, you can't synchro for something because, you know, you don't have the right cards. Plus, you know, she's a 22 on the beat stick. She protects the dragons, you know, so nobody can drop a big, you know, synchro for like a Gothams or something and run over your Assault mode. They have to kill her first before they can even come at Assault mode, so that's pretty good. Black Rose, because I have Fusionist in the extra deck and I have mainly 4-star tuners right there. That's my 7-star synchro, and Black Rose is just basically my Dark Hole. Instead of running Dark Hole and Mirror Force and all that stuff in here, it's like, you know what, Instant Fusion can be that. Instant Fusion can be my Monster Reborn. Instant Fusion can be my Dark Hole Heavy Storm combo, because I can sink into Rose and go off, you know what I mean? So 2-card combo, and I can get rid of everything on my point side field and then set my back row, you know what I mean? I could even go as, you know, well, forget it, I was gonna say as far as Black Rosing so I can get Starlight Rose effect, but what's the point? If I have Instant Fusion and a tuner, I might as well to make Stardust, right? Anyway, Colossal Fighter, you know, just because I use Carbo, I just call him Carbo. I use Carbo Warrior, so that way he helps me get give Colossal Fighter power boost. So I usually use him with Instant Fusion to synchro, so that way Colossal Fighter gets a power boost. So if I synchro for Stardust, then a Colossal Fighter, you know, using 2 Instant Fuses in different turns, that right there will make him a 3000, and then it comes in handy. Plus, if somebody has a 28, I can synchro for him, bunk heads with a 28, and then boom. But that's if I don't use Instant Fusion. If I use Instant Fusion, he comes out as a 29. I can I can run over a lot of things. But if I bring him out as a 3000, then I can bunk heads with a 3000, and then he comes back and attack directly for 3000. You know, he's just great. Plus, he's great defense. It comes in handy in many scenarios. He's good against, you know, Machina Fortress. Good wall against Machina Fortress, among other things. He's just good. That's all. Scrap Dragon. Sometimes you gotta pop something, you know, get that advantage. And of course, with the Crystal Beast and the Violon Prism, you know, you got a lot of ammo for him, plus some of the dead draws. You know, let's say you used up all your Crystal Beasts, you know, you got a Crystal Promise, set it, pop it, you know. Gravity Vine sometimes, you know, can stop you from attacking, but to me, I use it defensively, obviously, but also I use it as my draw engine. Who doesn't like to draw more cards, right? I use it as a draw engine. I stall to draw. That's what I do. I stall to draw, so I can get all my resources and, you know, make a comeback, make a move, win the duel. So that's part of, you know, the usefulness of Gravity Bind. If people just think, oh, Gravity Bind is just for defense, I use it for more than that. I use it as stall to draw, so I can draw into my resources. I use it to set up my synchro plays, my exceed plays, and all that stuff. Plus the fact that I exceed summon Gravity Bind is not that much of a problem. Stardust's job is really to protect my back row. So, you know, my Regeki breaks and, you know, Starlight Road and whatnot, my MST, so I can MST what I need to MST and whatnot. So that's really what he's there for. He's just there to give me control and, you know, and slowly, you know, create what I want to create and win the duel. Sometimes Corn wins me the duel, sometimes Stroke wins me the duel. So Alright, Crimson Blader, he's popular right now, he's popping. So everybody's gonna play him. Plus he's great. He is really good. He does come in handy. Basically he's kinda like my Ophion, if you wanna call it that, you know what I mean? He's my solution for a lot of things. So I definitely have him. I want to duel with him and Roach one against like Chaos Dragons. That's funny. The guy literally was like, "This destroys Chaos Dragons." Like, all right, that's cool because he had a dark arm and a red metals in his hand, just ready to drop. And like, I forgot he had a monster and I killed it with Crimson Blade and slowed him down. And then next turn it's like, well, I know he's still got the red metals and the dark arm. He's ready to drop and go off. So I was like, all right, do my 2-card combo, deal some damage, overlay, make Steel Swarm Roach, and he admitted defeat. I had him locked out. Blackwing Dragon, you know, for chain burn and any burn decks. Lately, I'm glad I've been playing Blackwing Dragon. I like him. He's a Signer Dragon. I love Signer Dragons. You know, I like him. He was always cool. I never used to play him like that. Like I got him. I got like copies of him. And I started putting him in the decks now because of burn. People have been playing burn, which is okay. You know, I have nothing against it. It's not like I'm complaining. Oh, people burn decks and blah blah blah. I'm like, not a big deal. That's what Blackwing Dragon's for. So I was playing against somebody and he had a good amount of burn cards in his deck. So I was able to survive and make a comeback and win. And then I started burning him with corn and then attacked him for game. Of course, Fusionist again for the Black Rose play. I actually used it one time to make Stardust because I attacked my opponent's monster. I had like 2 Pegasus on the field, something like that. I think it was 2 Pegasus on the field. I attacked my opponent's monster, and one of his monsters was it was a 1-star tuner. It was Turbo Warrior, Turbo Synchron. It was Turbo Synchron. So I killed Turbo Synchron, attacked him directly, dealt some damage. Main phase 2, I had Monster Born Instant Fusion, so it's like a 2-card combo because I can use Instant Fusion to bring out 3-star. Monster Born is 1-star. 1, 3, 4 makes 8. Synchro, set my assault mode, activate, and boom. He had no choice but to concede because I had way too much advantage. Stardust, of course, you need all 3 because sometimes you might stall at Rose a lot, or you might synchro a lot. Once I've actually made 3 Stardust assault modes, so it's good to have 3 just in case you get into that God mode. And of course, Carbo Warrior has your 4-star fusion to do what you do, and that is the Crystal Beast Assault Mode deck profile.